Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Let me ask you a question. In the spirit of love and romance, don't you want to go above and beyond for your special someone? In this video, I'm talking about how I turned my obsession with productivity systems into a relationship-focused machine, and you can do it too for $0. I'm Elliot, and this is the Productivity Test Kitchen. A very wise man once told me that the best gift you can give is your promise. It was Josh, actually. Josh told me that. When you stay true to a promise, you are showing 3 key values that are core to any relationship. And those 3 values are responsibility, reliability, and involvement. In my geekery, I've discovered 3 productivity techniques that are usually discussed in a professional setting, but I've found are easily adapted to focus on relationships, and when you do that, it works very well. Those 3 techniques are task and project management, checklists, and communication. And those 3 techniques line up with the core values 1-to-1. So let's get started by talking about task and project management. What is task management? It's basically a very fancy to-do list. And this fancy to-do list helps me be responsible for my activities and my actions. This idea got popular in the early 2000s when David Allen published Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. And many influential thinkers have refined it ever since then. I personally like Cal Newport's approach. He calls it capture, configure, and control. I'll walk you through these 3 steps and I'll tell you why it's healthy and important in your relationship. In Getting Things Done, or GTD for short, by the way, we have a video on that up here, click the card. In GTD, David Allen says your brain is for having ideas, not for holding them. And what he means by that is that we're really good at creating things and coming up with things to do and things to make, but we're really bad at remembering it, and we're really bad at structuring and organizing it. So the core concept is you're gonna write down everything, and I mean everything that comes to mind with regards to responsibilities. If someone asks you to do something or says, man, I really wish I had, write that down in a list. Going back to Cal Newport's 3 steps, capture, configure, control. Capture means you just get that idea and you get it down on paper. Whatever is most convenient, maybe you've got an index card or a note on your cell phone, you get it written down somewhere. Configure, the next step, is when you look at those rough captures that you've made over a day and you sort them and you refine them, and then you can move on to step 3, which is control. When you have them refined and laid out ahead of you, you can plan them and structure them in ways that can help organize your life. You can keep your promises by saying, I know I've agreed to this little task that I would have forgotten about. Honestly, it would have just slipped my mind. I know that happens to me constantly and I'm always getting in trouble for it. But now I've got it written out. I've got it planned. I see that I can do that on Tuesday would be a good day to do that, and I'm not going to forget about it. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to get it done. Or even bigger projects you can plan in the future for. There are things on my list that I know I'm not going to get to until next spring, next fall, or even next year. And as an example, I'm going to show you a portion of one of my lists, my homeowner list of things that I know I need to do around the house. The app I'm using is an iOS app called Things 3, but there are lots of apps you can use, and frankly, you could just use a piece of paper for this if you wanted to. So I have a section called Homeowner, and inside of that are various projects and tasks, a project being something that has more than one step involved in it, and I lay it out in a list. And the nice thing about Things 3 is that I can look into toilet bowl cleaners, and I can click this calendar and I can say, well, I think I'll have time maybe tomorrow to think about toilet bowl cleaners. Writing out my projects and scheduling them in this way has helped accomplish the important things that keep my household and my relationship functioning. Plus, it gives me an overview of where these projects come from, if they're all my ideas, or if they're things that have been asked of me by my wife, or if they've come from outside sources. And I can plan and have an overview of what I've been doing and what I'm prioritizing, and it can help me set more focused and productive priorities as well. The next technique I talk about helps keep me reliable, and they are checklist. Now, a checklist is fairly straightforward. We've all used them before. It's where you write things down, and then when you get things done, you put a little check or an X, or you cross it off. And that's basically what I'm talking about, but more in depth. Now, we also have a video about this called Checklist Manifesto. Check it out here. These in-depth checklists that I've started making are very granular, detailed lists that include every possible step of everyday routine things around the house. Because I've noticed that some people are really good about holding those ideas in their head of,
we need to make sure this gets done, and this gets done, and this gets done, and this gets done, and this gets done.
And then some people are just kind of okay at it, and they go, well, we need to make sure all that gets done, and there's a lot of stuff to think about, but I'm pretty sure I got it all done. Anyway, the former seems to be mostly wives, and the latter seems to be men and husbands like me. So for example, I was getting really tired of second guessing myself as I laid in bed at night going, did I lock the deadbolt? I'm pretty sure I locked the deadbolt. If I didn't lock the deadbolt, someone could kick in our door and rob our house and kill our family. Should I check it? No. And then of course you get up in the morning and guess what's not locked? The deadbolt. So to combat that and make me more reliable and true to my promises, I started making very granular checklists of every single step necessary in a common chore. And I run that checklist by my wife and I said, does this line up to you? And is there anything that you think I may have missed? And usually there is, and she adds to it. And so it's a better, more functioning system for that way. So now at night, I had this checklist on my phone and I just point and call and I go, that's locked, that light's turned off. I did that, check, check, check. And if ever questioned, I can say, well, yes, look, I got this list. In fact, I'll show you my end of day lockup list right now. Once again, I'm using things 3. This could be a note, this could be a piece of paper, this could be anything. As you see, I've got a section for cat's room. And so I'll just walk in, I'll do the cat poop, and I'll check it off. And then I'll check the water, oh, that's fine. And I'll check her food, oh, that's fine. And make sure I turn the lamp off, and that's fine. And that's really all there is to it. It doesn't need to be hard, it doesn't need to be complicated, it doesn't need to be a big deal, but you need to take some time to make this. Now the advantage in your relationship of building these checklists, as I've said, is that you gain reliability. You do the things that you promise you're gonna do and you do it in totality and you do it well. So far we've talked about responsibility, we've talked about reliability. The third key trait is involvement. And the technique that I use to be more involved with my partner, with my wife, is open communication. That might be the scariest idea for some of you, but you actually will need to be honest and you need to talk to your partner. You need to merge your goals and merge your ideas into one unified vision for your household and for your family. Otherwise, if you're 2 different people operating on 2 different priorities, you're just going to constantly be at odds with each other and you're constantly going to be causing friction and tension between yourselves. Just by opening this video, you're taking a great step in showing that you want to be a better person and a better partner. And I believe that everybody has room to be a better person and partner. Take these systems and these ideas that you're creating and take this initiative that you have and bring it to your partner and say, how can I be better for you? What can I do? What can I change? What can I improve? What can I stop doing? For me personally, it's important that I bring a healthy dose of humility into my communication. And that means understanding myself that I am human, that I make mistakes, that I am not without critique, and that I have room to grow and room to learn. And if I didn't bring the humility with me, then I would keep my guards up and I would be defensive and I wouldn't back down on a stance that I held and I would defend the selfish actions I've taken and I would defend how I didn't prioritize my partnership or my family over my own interests, which obviously would lead me to nowhere. So those are the big changes that I've instituted in my life. Task management for responsibility, checklists for reliability, and open and honest communication for involvement. Since being intentional with those aspects of my life, I've noticed that my relationship is strengthened. My love for my wife is better than it ever was before. We're happier overall and in general. We're getting more things done around the house. We're more proud of our lives. And so I think if you take similar steps, you can find similar results. Thank you for watching this video today. If you found it helpful at all, consider liking this video because that helps us out. Subscribe so that you get more content like this in the future. And if you really liked it, click the bell icon so you get notified when we create content like this. My name's Elliot. This is Productivity Test Kitchen. Thank you for watching.